Here's a solution for day 2, problem 1. Find the domain and range of the function. We have f of x equals 2 divided by x minus 4. The first thing we're asked for is the domain. The domain of a function is all numbers that could be used for the variable x. Often that's all real numbers, but sometimes there are numbers that can't be used for x because they would violate particular math rules. In this case, we have a division problem or a fraction that has a denominator. You can't divide by 0. This denominator can't be 0. So x can be all numbers except for any numbers that would make the denominator be 0. So x minus 4 can't be 0. If you add 4 to both sides, you can find out the restricted value on x is positive 4. But any other number, it would be okay to input for x. And so the domain is all real numbers except 4. Now let's find the range of the function. The range of a function is all of the numbers generated by the function rule. When every possible number is used for x, what are all of the possible numbers created by the function rule? Remember that the only number that can't be used for x is 4, but all other numbers could be used. So numbers larger than 4 can be used. Numbers less than 4 could be used. Are there any numbers that this function can't output? And there is. There is no way that this expression could create 0. Because if you begin with 2 and divide it by any positive number or negative number that you can think of, you'll never get the answer of 0. So the range is all real numbers except 0. Day 2, problem 2. Solve the quadratic equation by factoring. Because this equation is quadratic, its highest degree is 2, we expect to get 2 answers. And if this trinomial factors, then factoring can be used to find those answers. Trinomials factor into a binomial times binomial pattern using FOIL. This has to be x and this has to be x because x times x is how the first term would turn out to be x squared. For this number here and this number here, it has to be a pair of numbers that multiplies together to create positive 12. There are lots of possibilities. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. The numbers could also be negative because a negative number times a negative number could be positive 12. To know what pair of numbers we want to use, we look at this middle term, negative 7x. We need a pair of numbers that multiply together to make 12 and combine together to make negative 7. Those numbers would be negative 4 and negative 3. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12, and the outer product is negative 3x, the inner product is negative 4x, and those combine to negative 7x. Once we've created factored form for the equation, we can use the zero product property to get answers for x. The factor x minus 4 must be 0, or the factor x minus 3 must be 0. Solving this first equation, we get x equals 4, and solving the second equation, we get x equals 3. So here are the two solutions to this quadratic equation.